everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to enroll Thinkific user on Elementor Forms submission. So I am an online course creator and I sell courses on different topics to my students. I have created a form using Elementor with the help of which I am collecting the students' data who are interested in the courses that I am selling. I am collecting their details with the help of that form. And using Thinkific, I manage the online courses of my business and the students' enrollments. Here what I want is that by any of the students, a new form submission is going to be done as they're going to do the registration for the course that I'm selling using Elementor. I want to add that student and enroll that student to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. Now doing these enrollments manually after the new form submission is going to be very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Elementor and Thinkific with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to enroll Thinkific user on Elementor Forms submission. So as an online course creator, I use Elementor on my website to let students sign up for the courses quickly. And I also use Thinkific to host my online courses. The problem that I face is manually transferring the data of my students who have enrolled to my course from my Elementor into my Thinkific course that I've created. To fix this, I have set up an automation. Now, whenever someone fills out the form using Elementor and enrolls for the course that I've created, automatically that user is going to be enrolled to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. And for doing that, I've set up this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Enroll Thinkific User on Elementor Forms Submission. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Elementor Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Enroll Thinkific User on Elementor Forms Submissions, and there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is our action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We're going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Elementor. Elementor is a popular website building plugin for WordPress that helps us to create stunning and professional looking web pages without needing of any coding and programming skills. It works as a simple drag and drop interface, allowing us to add and customize elements like text, image and forms. And I use Elementor, with the help of which I have created a course registration form, and using this course registration form, the students can register and enroll for the courses that they are interested in. And these forms are attached on my websites. I want that as soon as a new form submission is going to be done, that means any of the students is going to enroll for the course that I've created, automatically what should happen is Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that new form submission. So for the trigger over here, I'm going to select it as Elementor. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as new form submission, okay? After selecting the trigger application and the event, we need to build a connection between Elementor and Pabbly Connect. For doing that, Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to build a connection between these two applications by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So what I'm going to do is, firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, we are going to open the form that we have created using Elementor. So this is the form that I've created using Elementor, and using this form, I'm going to collect the data of my students who are interested in the courses that I'm selling. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we need to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. For connecting this form to Pabbly Connect, over here you can see this is the form field of this form. I'm going to click on this field right over here. As I'm going to click on it, the edit form site is going to appear on the left side. I'm going to close this form fields tab right here. These are the multiple options from which go to this action after submit option right here. It is asking for us to add an action. Click on this add button and search for the action in the name of webbook and select the action from here. As you're going to add the action, the webbook site is then going to appear in front of you right here. Click on this. It is asking for the webbook URL. In place of this field, paste the webbook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Okay, so I'm going to paste the webbook URL right over here. Okay, after adding the URL right over here, you can see the URL is added. Now I want to save the changes that I've created. For that, I'm going to click on this publish button right over here. Okay. As I've done that, you can see the webbook URL has now been added to this form that I've created using Elementor. As the webbook URL is successfully added to this form, we are going to open our workflow and scroll down. You can see over here it is saying waiting for webbook response. So now to check whether Elementor is connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what we're going to do is we are going to do the test form submission of this form that I've created using Elementor. After doing the test submission, we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test form submission being done or not. Okay. So for doing the test submission, I'm going to click on this preview button right over here. So this is the course registration form that I've created for the course in the name of Programming in Python course. Okay, this is the course that I've created in my Thinkific account, and this is the registration form of this course right here. Now what we're going to do is we are going to create the dummy registration. Okay, for that we are going to fill in the required details. Firstly, it is asking for the first name of our student. So for the first name over here, I'm going to write it as Smart. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as Test45. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as smarttest45@pabblytunes.com, and for the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the send button to the test submission. As I've done that, it says the submission was successful. This means the test form submission has now been done. As now the test form submission is done, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the test form submission. First name of the student as Smart, last name as Test45, email as smarttest45@pabblytunes.com, and for the phone number, the dummy mobile number with all the other details. Okay. As the response of the form submission has been captured in the workflow, this means that Elementor has now been successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now whenever by any of the students the course enrollment is going to be done with the help of the form that I've created using Elementor, automatically in the similar manner Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, as the form submission is done by the student, I want to enroll that user in my Thinkific account to the course that I've created. Okay. So this is the course that I've created in the name of Programming in Python, and this form right over here is for this course right over here specifically. I want to now enroll the student who have done the form submission using Elementor as a user in this course right over here in my Thinkific account. So for enrolling the user, firstly we need to create that student as a user in our Thinkific account. For doing that, we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Thinkific. Thinkific is all-in-one platform designed for creating, hosting and selling online courses. It helps educators and entrepreneurs and businesses to build professional learning experiences without needing of any technical skills. You can easily upload your course content, including videos, quizzes and assignments. And using Thinkific, I have created multiple courses and manage all my courses and students' data with the help of Thinkific. I want to now enroll the student in this course right over here. So firstly, we need to create the user in our Thinkific account. For that, for my action application, I'm going to select it as Thinkific, and for the action event, I'm going to select it as create user. In order to enroll the user, firstly we need to create the student as a user. So that is why I'm going to select my action event as create user, and then I'm going to click on this connect button to connect Thinkific to Pabbly Connect. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on this button right over here that says connect with Thinkific. As I'm going to do that, it is asking for the subdomain of our Thinkific account. So now to have the subdomain, follow the help desk step given over here. Okay. So now to have the subdomain, log into your Thinkific Thinkific account. So this is my Thinkific account, you can see right here. And now to have the subdomain over here in the URL, you can see next to this HTTPS and slashes, this over here is the URL and next to .thinkific. So I'm going to copy this URL from here, and this is the subdomain of my account. You can see right away the subdomain is between the HTTPS and this .thinkific right here. Okay. After entering the subdomain, I'm going to click on this save button right over here. As I've done that, you can see I've successfully connected Thinkific to Pabbly Connect. After connecting, it is asking for all these details of the user that we want to create in our Thinkific account. So for the data of these fields, what we're going to do is we are going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. You can see that is Elementor new form submission. As I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. Now the student have done the form submission has been captured in our previous response. You can see right over here. I want to create this student as a user in my Thinkific account. So for the data of these fields, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the data from the response in my previous step right here. It is asking for the first name. So from my previous response, I've received the first name of my student. So I'm going to select the data of this first name from my previous response. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I've mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is now going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Similarly, for the last name, I'm going to map the data of the last name. For the email, I'm going to map the data of the email right here. It is asking for the password of the user that we're going to create in our Thinkific account. So the password over here, what I want is I want the name of my student, first name, last name. After that, I want it as underscore 123456. Okay, so this is the password of the user that I'm going to create in my Thinkific account. Okay, after that, it is asking for the roles. I don't want any of the roles right over here, so I'm going to skip the part. Okay, after that, it is asking for the bio, company, headline, and all the other details which I do not require, so I'm going to skip the part. And then simply I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, you can see I've received a response in which we have received the ID of the student. You can see right over here, which is a positive response. So now to check whether a student in the name of Smart Test 45 has been added in my Thinkific account or not, for that I'm going to go back to my Thinkific account. This is my Thinkific account, you can see right over here. And to check the user from the left side of the panel, go to the users section and all users option right here. As I'm going to come to it, you can see right over here, a new student has been added in my Thinkific account in the name of Smart Test 45. You can see right here. The details is smarttest45@pabblytudes.com. Now what I want is I want to enroll this student in my course that I've created using Thinkific in the name of, I'm going to go back to the courses page. So this is the course that I've created over here in the name of programming in Python, and the student has enrolled for this course. You can see right over here, that is programming in Python. So now what I want is I'm going to go back to the student right here. I want to now enroll the student in the name of Smart Test 45 to the course. You can see in their enrollments, the course is not selected right over here. The student has not been enrolled in any of the courses. Now I want to enroll this user in this course right over here. For that, we are going to set up our action step. For that, I'm going to add another action step right here. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Thinkific again. And for the action event, now I'm going to select it as enroll user, as I want to now enroll the user in the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. Okay, then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which I'm going to select the existing connection that I have. But if you want, you can add a new connection. Then I'm going to click on this save button. Okay. After that, over here it is asking for the course. I have created two courses in my Thinkific account. I'm going to go back to the courses that I've created. As you can see, I've created these two courses, PHP and programming in Python. But I want to enroll the student in the course programming in Python. You can see right here. So what I'm going to do is, for the course over here, I'm going to select it as programming in Python. Then it is asking for the user ID. Which user do we want to enroll the course into? So for the data of the user ID, what I'm going to do is, for that I'm going to toggle this map button on from the top and erase the existing data of this user ID from here. For the user ID, as we have received a user ID in this step right away, as we have created a user, this is the ID of this user. So I'm going to select the data of the user ID from my previous response and I'm going to map it. Okay. After that, it is asking for the activity date and the expiry date, which I do not require. So I'm going to skip the part and then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see right over here, we've received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to again open my students section right over here. I'm going to go back to users. This is the student right over here in the name of Smart Test 45.
you can see right over here is now been enrolled to the course programming in Python. You can see right over here. Okay, so the enrollment of the student to this course programming in Python has now been successfully done. You can see right here. As the student has been now successfully enrolled to the course that I've created using Thinkific, this means that we successfully created an automation between Elementor and Thinkific with the help of Pabbly Connect. But now for all of you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to again do a form submission using Elementor, and after doing the submission, I'm going to check whether a user has been created and enrolled to the course in my Thinkific account or not. Okay, for that we're going to do another form submission. I'm going to fill in all the required details right here. I filled in all the required details, first name as test, last name as demo, email as testdemo@pabblytudes.com with a dummy mobile number. After filling all the required details, I'm going to click on the set button to do the test submission. It says the submission was successful. This means the test submission is now been done. Now I'm going to open my Thinkific account. This is the all users page of my Thinkific account. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I've refreshed the page, you can see right over here, new user has been created in my Thinkific account in the name of test demo. I'm going to open this user, and this user is automatically been enrolled to the course programming in Python. You can see right over here. The user's name is test demo. You can see right over here. Okay. As the user is now been created and enrolled to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account, as they have done the form submission using Elementor, this means our automation between these two applications is now been successfully done with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up what we have done, I'm an online course creator, and using Elementor, I collect the signups for the courses that I've created in my Thinkific account. For my trigger, we have selected as Elementor, so that by any of the students, whenever a form submission is going to be done, as they go to the course registration, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that in our trigger. And after receiving the response, I'm going to create that student as a user in my Thinkific account first. And after creating that student as a user, I'm going to enroll that user to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. And for that, respectively, I've set up these action steps. This how you create this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.